If willpower worked, you would have changed already and not even bother watching this video, because deep down, you know what you want to stop, and you've told yourself dozens of times, and yet here you are, same pattern, same frustration. It's not a character flaw. It's not that you're weak. It's just that you're using the wrong tool entirely. When you try to change a habit, manage anxiety, or break a pattern using willpower, you're fighting yourself, literally. Willpower lives in your conscious mind. That's the part that makes decisions, reasons through problems, tries to hold the line. But your habits, your emotional reactions, your anxiety responses, those live somewhere else entirely. That's the subconscious. And the subconscious doesn't respond to logic. It doesn't respond to discipline. It responds to repetition, emotion, and direct communication. So when you white knuckle through a craving or push through a panic attack by force or tell yourself just stop, you're sending a conscious message to a system that doesn't speak that language. It's exhausting. And it's supposed to be, because you're running a civil war against yourself, an internal struggle. And when that happens, the subconscious always wins. Your conscious mind processes one or two things at a time. Focus, logic, willpower. They're all there. Effective, but only while your attention holds. The moment it slips, stress hits, you're tired, long day, the willpower simply evaporates. Then the old pattern just rushes right back in. Your subconscious is different. It runs continuously. Millions of bits of information simultaneously. Heart rate, breathing, emotional responses, deeply ingrained beliefs. It doesn't sleep. It doesn't take breaks. And it runs every behavioral program that you have. Whatever you're trying to change, anxiety, a habit, a fear, it's running as a subconscious program, not a conscious choice. Willpower is a speedboat. Your subconscious pattern is an oil tanker. A speedboat cannot redirect an oil tanker. It exhausts itself trying. And here's the other perspective. Once an oil tanker does turn, nothing will pull it off course. This is where hypnosis becomes clinically useful. In your normal waking state, your conscious mind acts as a gatekeeper, a filter that evaluates incoming information, questions it, resists it. That filter is called the critical factor. Hypnosis bypasses the critical factor, not through tricks, not through manipulation, through focused, directed relaxation that allows the conscious mind to step aside temporarily. When that happens, suggestions reach the subconscious directly. That's where the pattern lives. That's where lasting change is actually possible. And trance is not exotic. You've experienced it thousands of times. Daydreaming, being fully absorbed in a film. That moment whilst driving when you arrive somewhere and don't quite remember the last 10 minutes. Those are natural trance states. Clinical hypnosis is simply a directed, intentional, purpose-driven version of something your mind already does on its own. I routinely work with many clients who have tried many disciplines, diets, affirmations, sheer force of will, sometimes for years. The shift happens not when they try harder. It happens when we stop fighting the subconscious and start communicating with it directly. The goal of hypnotherapy is not to defeat your subconscious. It's an alignment of your conscious and subconscious, both parts of your mind working towards the same outcome at the same time. When that alignment happens, people often describe it as feeling as if they can move mountains. Not because they're forcing anything, it's because both parts of the mind are finally moving in the same direction. And when you stop fighting yourself, when that energy is no longer wasted on a civil war, it gets redirected, such as doing better at work, having more fun in life, having better relationships with your spouse and your children. This applies whether you're dealing with anxiety or a habit you cannot break, or a trauma response that keeps resurfacing, or a behavior you've simply attempted to change for years. Willpower treats the symptom. However, hypnosis addresses the underlying root cause of the problem. In other words, updating the subconscious program. If you've been exhausting yourself trying to change something through discipline and it keeps on returning, I can honestly promise you there is another way to work through this. If you're looking for a more personalized approach to release anxiety, overcome mental obstacles, break habits like a toothpick, and simply improve your overall quality of life, my one-to-one personal breakthrough 4 telesession program is designed for lasting change. Head over now to the video description or in my channel bio to secure the discounted hypnotherapy program. This is Marco, and I genuinely look forward to working with you.